ADHD auto mechanics.
This is definitely not going to fall on you.
Oh, I wouldn't say definitely.
Matt's problem is that you date theater chicks.
Aren't you dating it?
There it is! What are we calling the channel? Jeep Geeks.
Jeep Geeks.
What?
So the channel Jeep Geeks.
That implies a depth of knowledge that we lack.
Oh! Look at that.
I'm ignoring the Jeep politics, but I like the red with the green. Banana hammock.
No one wants to see that. We were able to successfully remove a bumper, and now we're trying to replace the bumper. We did not get to the compressor.
Yeah. We know what we're doing?
As far as we know.
Alright, so we have moved our operation from Northern Virginia back to Mike's house, and the garage is being prepared. It doesn't feel like these real professional YouTubers yet, like B is for build and Rich rebuilds. And I have no idea how this is gonna work. I feel like making a tornado joke, but Mike's girlfriend's father just lost his house in the tornado that just happened, so it feels like a bad time to make a joke.
9/11 was a terrible tragedy, and it's not funny to joke about it.
Is a significant improvement over what it was, but there's a little bit left to do. Josh is going to be here. We're going to finally finish the bumper. We had our little electrical screw up, but that got fixed. Today, if we have time, you're gonna see me finish the electrical. God willing, the creek don't rise. When Josh gets here, we'll be ready to go. We'll go ahead. First thing we're gonna do is finish off the winch. Then we'll jack the Jeep up, take out the front left fender flare, and get the compressor installed. We decided to get some running boards, and these are OEM JL running boards. They're not the super high-end ones that you can get from Mopar, but they should bolt right in, and they'll be good for day-to-day use. These are steel rock rails, and that's one of the things that comes with the Willis edition. It's basically armor for when you're on the trail. It's not ideal, but for now I can swap these back and forth. We know what we're doing.
As far as we know. Was this whole project just an excuse to get me to clean up your garage for you?
I'm not saying that it's not an excuse to get you to clean up my garage. This is Ziggy, my boy cat.
Seconds to impact.
You're gonna have to call the cops.
Is anything broken other than the shell on the microphone?
I don't know yet. Okay, so far this seems to be working.
I mean, I caught it with my foot.
Did we ever decide what the name is?
I thought we were doing Three Guys in a Jeep. Or did you guys have something
No,
else?
that's not like a moving company.
Oh, I thought we were Jeep Geeks.
Oh, Jeep Geeks. Yeah, Jeep Geeks. That's right. Well, last time we mounted the bumper, took off the old bumper, not in that order, and we started to mount the winch. As you can see, we were completely successful at everything we were doing.
We mounted the invisible winch. Today we're going to mount the actual winch.
Once we had actually managed to do the acrobatics required for the bumper.
Oops, wrong button. All right, guys.
disco lights apparently. Do the
So
washers.
what happened a few days after our bumper installation?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened. Everything was fine. Everything was fine.
Do I have to turn on the flashing lights again?
Yeah, remember we got that spark over here? There's over on this plate, there's a spark movement. One of the hot over, like, you can't really see it from here, but over on this plate somewhere, and I can't find it, the hot line tapped the aluminum, and I just thought everything was okay, no big deal. But I suspect that's when the problem started. I got in the Jeep, and it immediately started telling me that the battery was about to die. Well, the Jeep ended up being towed back to the house. I took it to the dealership. They ended up changing a fuse. And
You didn't check the fuses?
it's actually sort of the main fuse. And I'm not sure which one of these it is, but it's for these hot leads. These are all the interconnects between the two batteries. By the way, there's two batteries in a Jeep. The second battery is deep below here, and really the only way to get to it is up from underneath, which means removing this fender.
So you're basically saying this thing fused to cooperate.
Yes, exactly. It was a humbling moment because here I was just, days before going on and on about how much I know about electrical, and because we know what we're doing.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
Good Jesus Christ.
Yesterday he had the camera sitting on top of the refrigerator, and I came out of the house with a ladder, and it
None of this happened.
caught the camera with my foot, kind of. So we think that's
But not the microphone.
but not the microphone.
He caught his camera, but not my microphone.
Aside from a little plastic damage and maybe a bad audio cable, I think we lucked out. I assume that is all of our good luck for the rest of the year.
Just popped a tire.
This piece just fell off, so I don't know.
No, not here.
It's not a good time.
Oh, well, that's a problem. I don't know what's going on. I can't shift. We're gonna edit that out. What the hell is that? Sorry. That's probably it. We've already taken off the decorative grill. We've got there's two small brackets that support the back of this winch plate, one on each side. We're gonna put those in there and mount those. Again, we had no instructions, so we just found them. Once this comes off, hopefully we'll have enough space to just lower the winch right in and bolt it up without removing the bumper.
So this is the winch?
Yeah, this is the winch.
How do you know that it's a winch?
It floats. It weighs the same as a duck.
Who are you, who are so wise in the ways of science?
I am Arthur, king of the
Jeep Geeks.
So this is an aftermarket bumper, and it came without a nice plate to cover up all these different holes. So what I've got is a piece of aluminum here, and I'm going to cut it down to kind of fit the recesses in the bumper, and then there's actually a fairlead that goes through here that'll bolt onto the top of that. I don't know, I must have overestimated my length, so I do have to trim it. But it's better to overestimate than to underestimate.
By the way, my grinder's over there. It's a 4.5-inch grinder.
Should we talk about his 4.5-inch grinder?
Listen, I've never had any complaints. It grinds everything I need it to grind. Earl.
All it up, outside
Which,
line.
what are you doing?
Outside
This
line.
one?
Yep. God, I love my porter band.
Listen. He can learn a thing or two. It's pretty new at this.
What? So I'm just finishing the texturing on the edges of this, and we're going to give it a cosmetic finish. We are, in addition to that, we are mounting support brackets. We are, in addition to that, we are mounting support brackets. Hold up the back of the winch plate. If you go over to the other side, these two bolts here and this bolt on here, it supports the back of this plate. Clearance. All right, perfect. I've got to cut a hole in this so that the rope can come through. Michael's overthinking.
drill press settings are finicky beasts. There's this frame. As in Virginia, you have to have a license plate on the front, and we're going to do something we're not supposed to do, which is mismatch metals.
Here we have stainless, we have aluminum, and we have mild steel. It's a smorgasbord.
So what are the repercussions?
Rust. When you have different types of metal, you create, you can create
Galvanic welding.
yeah, thank you. Galvanic welds. Try not to mismatch metals.
Do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah.
Right. We do have a galvanized nut on the back of one of these stainless bolts just because we screwed up.
Literally.
Yes, you can see the final product on this. Isn't that nice?
We used a Scotch-Brite pad on a wheel to give it some horizontal texture just to the surface of the aluminum. So once we get everything put in, we'll hang the license plate bracket on the front, and that'll cover up the fairlead. The winch line will come through there.
We've been going back and forth about how to mount the solenoid. The solenoid will mount here like that. We're just trying to figure out the best orientation for the solenoid for the wires.
You know, we take care of all these electrical problems. Replace all this with an electric motor.
Pass me the largest wrench in that bag, please.
Are you gonna hit him with it?
Ford's Lightning is a promising vehicle, and the Rivian is I've seen a lot on that.
Rivian start at 70,000.
Yeah, well, it's a very capable vehicle, and it's already being touted as a great vehicle for overlanding.
But when pulling a trailer, your range is cut down, and we usually go on long range.
There is something we have not mentioned. Josh may have had a slight mishap in his Japanese rice-burning truck.
This one's a Honda. It's not very interesting.
So Josh has made the decision, should his insurance company do the right thing and total his truck, to move on to a different type of vehicle. And Josh, what family of vehicles are you getting?
I really want a Jeep Gladiator.
Behold, Arthur, this is the holy gladiator. It is your sacred task to seek this gladiator.
The news is that we're about to expand our fleet. We're in fact going to double our fleet. Fleet Geeks!
I hate trucks, so since I have to have one, I want one that's interesting. So Michael is going to get even bigger, even wackier tires, and he's gonna save his so that I can borrow them and go off-road.
Yeah, because I don't care about my gas mileage, apparently. Too old and fat for this, Josh. We're just trying to figure out the best orientation for the solenoid for the wires now.
Does that help?
So for now, all three of us have done that. And if you want me to go into the math on this later, I can, but...
I was told there would be no math.
Who's getting fired? I'm not getting paid. How can I get fired?
That's a valid point. I'm not getting paid either.
Then you open the box.
He's still singing. Isn't that nice? I'm proud for this to be on my bumper.
Yeah.
Which nuts?
These nuts.